It's been a while. Let's make some carne asada. Hey guys, it's Victor with Sazon, and today we are back in the test kitchen to make carne asada with our taco truck seasoning. So without any further ado, I just want to say this is probably one of my favorite things to make. It is easy, quick, flavorful, and is sure to impress anyone you make it for. Let's get into it. I have two different kinds of meat here, as you can see. I have New York strip loin on the right and flank steak on the left. Now, the reason I have these two is because I want to show you guys the variety of flavor and textures that you can get out of your carne asada. Our flank steak is a classic Hispanic meat choice when making this dish, but for a little bougie elevated version, what you can do is use something like a ribeye, New York strip, any of those cuts, because what you're gonna get is thicker, juicier pieces. So I'm gonna show you guys how to properly marinate both, and then we'll get into cooking. All you're gonna need to make the best carne asada in the world, in our personal opinion, is Taco Truck Carne Asada seasoning and Sunny D. Now, Sunny D, why? Well, I'll tell you why. One, Sunny D is delicious, first of all. It is our grandfather's secret. But two, the sugar content is so high that when you're caramelizing your meat by cooking it in a pan or grill, you're actually gonna get a way better crust, and it's gonna add that citrusy like boost of flavor on top of already this complete robust seasoning that is our Taco Truck Carne Asada seasoning. So first, we generously sprinkle on 1 tablespoon per pound of meat. Now, I'm gonna kind of eyeball it here since I have different various cuts of meat, but generally what you wanna look for is a really good solid coating over the top of the meat, and you're gonna do that on both sides. So once you have that generously covered, now what you're gonna wanna do is take your Sunny D, and all I like to do is kind of just put my fingertips over the edge here so it doesn't fully pour out. And you wanna get some good droppies on there. Then, with that same wet hand, you wanna flip your meat over, repeat the process. And on thicker cuts, if you do choose to do like a ribeye or New York strip, don't be afraid to season it a little heavier than you think, because it's a lot of meat that you got to get the flavor penetrating through. So with the base seasoning done, now what you would do is put these into a plastic Ziploc baggie and set them in your fridge for 15 minutes or up to 2 hours. The longer you wait, the maximum flavor you're going to achieve. Now let's talk about cooking carne asada. So right now I have an induction cooktop with a stainless steel pan. What I'm going to do is basically get that to a medium high heat and let it sit for about 3 minutes to make sure that this pan is ready for the meat. Then what I'll do is add some high smoke point here. I use Graza's olive oil. I just like the flavor profile. You could use whatever. You could use avocado, you could use veggie, canola, but you don't want to use normal olive oil. It will burn, get really bitter, and affect your taste. So that being said, power this on, and I'm going to turn it on to a 7 out of 10 and let this warm up for about 3 minutes. We'll see you then. Also, pro tip, while your meat is marinating, go ahead and prepare taco toppings. I like to use 1 whole white onion, 1 head of cilantro, a lime and a half, and a heavy pinch of salt. Give this a good mix around and you have yourself the perfect, delicious, simple taco topping. You don't need beans, you don't need cheese, you don't need all that. You need this in all of its glory. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring my meat back over here. It's been sitting for about 20-30 minutes, and this has been ready to go. So what you're gonna wanna do, drop your heat just a little bit, wait about 20 seconds, then you add in your oil. What you're gonna wanna hear is the immediate sizzle. If you don't hear that from your meat, your pan's too low. Perfect. So what we're gonna do is cook this on this side for about 3 minutes or until a really good crust is formed. Then we'll flip it. Now I'll show you guys what the crust looks like when we flip it, but what you're looking for are like a good chunk of dark brown spots, but you don't want it black. You don't want to burn anything. that's too much. Based on my chef's spidey senses, I'm going to flip it, and let me show you guys that really good, perfect char. I mean, this is textbook what you want. I mean, it is dark brown, good crispy edges. So we'll let this steak sit on this side for 2 to 3 minutes or until it reaches the doneness of your liking. You could use an internal temperature reader if you'd like, but I kind of go by feels. It smells so good right now. Okay, so this has been cooking for a perfect amount of time. I have a separate plate here. I am just going to, oh, you see this, by the way? How good this looks? Put this on the separate plate to rest. Gonna go ahead and add just a little bit more oil. Remember, lay the steak away from you. Great steak cooking tip too, if you have any sort of burger press or any sort of weight, always good to put it on top, because what you're gonna do is allow full contact of the pan and get a consistent crust across the entire steak. So I don't have one of those right now, but if you did, use it. Got a pretty good crust forming here. I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. Also beneficial when you're cooking a steak like this to start dropping the heat once you flip it, so you don't overcook one side and then it's just still raw in the middle. So I'm gonna drop the heat. Okay, this is gonna work as my weight. Okay, we move this off. Gonna pick this up. Beautiful crust on that. And we're gonna put it on our plate to rest. You know the drill. A little bit of oil, New York strip on. Gonna bump the heat back up and let this sit on top. Flip it, beauty, and she goes on the resting plate. So what we have here are the finished steaks. We have 2 New York strips and 1 flank steak. They have been resting for about 10 minutes, so now I'm gonna cut into them. Let's give them a look. Right into the middle. I just wanna see what we got going on here. Nice, easy pink throughout. Beautiful. Honestly, probably could have cooked it for less time. Also, carne asada and steak cutting pro tip, cut against the grain. When you're looking at the meat, you'll see that there's muscle fibers running. And if you cut in parallel with those muscle fibers, you get really chewy, not fun to eat steak. But you cut against them, you shorten the muscle fibers, making it really tender. Chef tax. We're gonna talk about that in a second. I gotta finish cutting this meat. Oh my goodness. I mean, again, do you see this? See all these muscle fibers? You can see them kind of stretching when you bend it. Cut against it. Parallel, perpendicular. Guys, look at this mountainous pile of delicious, perfectly cooked meat. Last thing we gotta do is make a taco and talk about it. So, I'm gonna grab a tortilla. I'm gonna go ahead and just go in. Let's grab this. Oopsies, put that right on top. Flavor test. Whoa, hold on. We'll talk about this. I don't even know where to start. Yeah, let's start with the easy thing. Make this. This is good. You will not regret this. Yummy, delicious. I'm gonna say necessary. But let's talk about taco meat. This is one of the easier meals you can make for a lot of people in not a lot of time. Use taco truck seasoning, a little bit of Sunny D, grill it, pan sear it like I did, cut it, serve it. It is so simple in the insane level of flavor you get out of this. A little spice from the crushed red chili. You're getting some zestiness from the Sunny D. There is so many ingredients going into making this perfect. You don't need to add your own salt. And if you feel like, hey, this could use a little bit more, sprinkle on a little extra taco seasoning. I'm always a big proponent of season with your heart. So if you think it's too salty, lighten up. If you think it's not flavorful enough, add more. I think cooking is such an individual, unique experience. So if that is something you are into and you want to level up your carne asada or try making it for the first time, I recommend going to buy our taco truck seasoning. You can find it on our website or on our TikTok shop. It is selling like hotcakes because it gets results. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Victor with Sazon. And remember, have fun and make something delicious. We'll see you guys in the next one.